I found my late father's voice message 5 years after he passed away. I almost deleted it without listening, but that one forgotten recording changed my life forever. My name is Ethan. My father, Michael, was the hardest working man I have ever known. He worked long hours as a mechanic to give our family a comfortable life. Even after coming home exhausted, he always found time to help me with my homework, teach me how to fix things around the house, or simply sit beside me and ask how my day had been. As a teenager, I never understood how much he sacrificed for us. I thought he was too strict whenever he told me to work hard, stay honest, and respect people. At that age, I believed he worried too much. Looking back now, I realize every lesson he gave me came from love. I just wasn't mature enough to understand it. 5 years ago, everything changed in a single night. My father suffered a sudden heart attack while returning home from work. By the time we reached the hospital, it was too late. I still remember standing beside his hospital bed, unable to believe he was gone. After the funeral, life felt empty. My mother tried her best to stay strong, but I could see the sadness in her eyes every day. I buried myself in work because it was easier than facing my grief. As the years passed, I slowly stopped talking about my father because every memory hurt too much. Then, exactly 5 years later, while cleaning old files on my phone before buying a new one, I noticed an old voice message hidden in my voicemail folder. The date on it was the same day my father passed away. My hands started shaking. I realized I had never listened to it. I stared at the screen for several minutes, wondering if I was ready to hear my father's voice one last time. With my heart racing, I finally pressed the play button. For a few seconds, there was only silence. Then I heard my father's familiar voice. "Hi, Ethan. If you're hearing this, I probably couldn't reach you. I just wanted to tell you that I'm proud of you. I know we don't always agree, and I know I can be hard on you sometimes, but everything I do is because I love you. Never let failure make you believe you're not good enough. Life will knock you down, but always get back up. Take care of your mother. She has always been the strongest person in our family. And one more thing, never forget that no matter where life takes you, you will always be my son, and I will always love you." As soon as the message ended, I broke down in tears. It felt as if my father had spoken directly to my heart after all those years. His voice was exactly the way I remembered it. Warm, calm, and full of love. I listened to the message again, and then again. Every time I heard his voice, I noticed something new. I realized that my father had called me just a few hours before he passed away. I had been busy at work and ignored the call, thinking I would return it later. That later never came. For years, I had carried the pain of missing his final phone call, but hearing his voice message gave me something I thought I had lost forever. A chance to hear his love one last time. That evening, I drove straight to my mother's house. We sat together in the living room where my father used to watch television every night. I handed her my phone and quietly played the message. As soon as she heard his voice, tears rolled down her face. She held the phone close to her heart and whispered, "It's been 5 years, and he still sounds like he's right here with us." In that moment, our home felt full again, even if it was only for a few precious minutes. After that day, I stopped thinking of the voice message as something sad. Instead, I saw it as my father's final gift to me. Whenever life became difficult, I played the recording again. I listened to it before important job interviews, on birthdays, and on the days when I missed him the most. His words reminded me to stay honest, work hard, and never give up. Slowly, I began changing the way I lived. I spent more time with my mother instead of always saying I was too busy. We had dinner together every weekend, visited my father's favorite places, and shared stories that made us smile instead of cry. For the first time in years, our home was filled with laughter again. My father was no longer physically with us, but his love continued to guide our family every single day. One afternoon, while cleaning my father's old workshop, I found a small wooden box hidden inside one of his tool cabinets. Inside were dozens of family photographs, birthday cards I had made as a child, and every school certificate I had ever brought home. At the bottom of the box was a folded piece of paper with my name written on it. My hands trembled as I opened it. It was a short letter in my father's handwriting. In it, he wrote that he hoped I would always choose kindness over anger, family over money, and honesty over success gained the wrong way. At the end of the letter, he wrote, "If you become a good man, I will have succeeded as a father." I held the letter close to my chest and cried. In that moment, I realized that my father had never cared about how much money I would earn or what job I would have. The only thing he truly wanted was for me to become a man of good character, and I silently promised him that I would spend the rest of my life trying to make him proud. A few years later, I became a father myself. The first time I held my newborn son in my arms, I finally understood the love my father had always carried for me. I looked at his tiny face and realized that parents spend their whole lives worrying, sacrificing, and dreaming for their children without expecting anything in return. That evening, after bringing my son home from the hospital, I sat alone in the living room and played my father's voice message once again. As his familiar voice filled the room, tears rolled down my face. This time, they were not only tears of sadness, they were tears of gratitude. I whispered, "Dad, I understand now. I promised that I would raise my son with the same honesty, kindness, and love that my father had given me." Even though my father was no longer there to meet his grandson, I knew his lessons would continue through another generation. Today, that old voice message is the most valuable thing I own. It is not worth money, but it is worth more than anything I could ever buy. Whenever my son asks me about his grandfather, I play the recording and tell him stories about the man who taught me what it means to be a good father. My mother often smiles when she hears her husband's voice and says it feels like a small piece of him never left us. Looking back, I no longer regret finding the message 5 years late. I believe I found it at exactly the moment I needed it most. It reminded me that although death can take away the people we love, it can never take away the lessons they leave behind. My father's voice helped me heal from years of guilt, brought my family closer together, and taught me to treasure every phone call, every conversation, and every moment with the people I love. Life is unpredictable. We never know which goodbye will be the last. That is why I never end a phone call with my family without saying, "I love you." If there is one thing my father's final message taught me, it is that love should never be left unspoken. His voice may have been recorded years ago, but its message continues to guide me every single day. And every time I hear him say, "I'm proud of you," I smile, look toward the sky, and quietly answer, "Thank you, Dad. I hope I'm making you proud." Lesson: never wait for tomorrow to tell your loved ones how much they mean to you. Time passes quickly, but love, memories, and kind words can stay with us forever.